In the days following the announcement of Wang Hedi's January 17th concert, an unexpected name became the center of controversy: Zhao Lusi. She was not the headline act, not part of any confirmed pairing, and not responsible for the expectations placed on others. Yet somehow she became the focal point of online backlash. This raises an uncomfortable but necessary question. How did a professional guest appearance turn into a public trial? Tonight, we look beyond fandom narratives and ask why Zhao Lusi, an actress with no direct stake in this story, appears to be bearing the weight of emotions that were never hers to carry. The situation itself is, on the surface, quite straightforward. Wang Hedi announced his upcoming concert scheduled for January 17, 2026. As part of the program, Zhao Lusi was invited to appear as a guest, a decision that, in most entertainment industries, would be considered a routine professional collaboration. No joint project was announced, no personal statement was made, no narrative beyond a guest appearance was officially introduced. However, shortly after the news became public, intense reactions emerged online. Discussions quickly shifted away from the concert itself and towards speculation, projection, and emotional responses rooted in pre-existing fandom expectations. Within this shift, Zhao Lusi, despite remaining entirely silent, became a central figure in a controversy she did not initiate nor publicly engage with. This is where the situation becomes difficult to ignore. Zhao Lusi was neither the organizer of the concert nor the decision-maker behind the invitation. She made no public statements, offered no implications, and presented no ambiguity regarding her role. Yet, as online discussions intensified, attention did not remain on the concert or its host. Instead, it gravitated toward Zhao Lusi. Questions about intent, timing, and motivation were projected onto her presence, despite the absence of evidence or action on her part. This shift is not accidental. In highly emotional fandom environments, frustration often seeks the most accessible target. When expectations clash with reality, the blame rarely lands on systems or narratives built over time. It lands on individuals who appear close enough to the situation, yet distant enough to be challenged. In this case, Zhao Lusi became that focal point, not because of what she did, but because of what others felt. What we are witnessing is not an isolated incident, but a recurring pattern within highly charged entertainment cultures. When disappointment or anger emerges, it is often redirected, not toward abstract systems or long-standing narratives, but toward a visible individual who appears easier to confront. In many cases, that individual is a female artist. Women in the public eye are more frequently questioned about intent, timing, and morality, even when their involvement is purely professional. Their presence is interpreted, their silence scrutinized, and their neutrality reframed as provocation. Zhao Lusi's situation fits this pattern precisely. She did not initiate the collaboration, nor did she define the context in which it was received. Yet she became the surface onto which unresolved expectations were projected. The backlash she faced was less about her actions and more about the emotional displacement of others. This phenomenon reflects a deeper imbalance. Male artists are often shielded by loyalty or rationalization, while female counterparts are asked to explain, justify, or retreat. In moments of collective frustration, women become the emotional buffer, absorbing criticism so that the core narrative remains intact. Zhao Lusi, in this case, appears not as a provocateur, but as someone caught in a structural crossfire. To understand why the backlash settled so firmly on Zhao Lusi, it is necessary to look beyond the incident itself and examine positioning. Zhao Lusi occupies a rare space in the industry, highly visible, commercially successful, and largely independent of manufactured narratives. She is prominent enough to draw attention, yet not embedded within the emotional structure that fueled the controversy. This combination makes her presence easy to notice and easier to question. In moments of tension, individuals who stand outside established fandom dynamics often become symbolic intrusions, regardless of intent. Moreover, Zhao Lusi's professional image is built on consistency rather than provocation. She does not rely on ambiguity, nor does she actively cultivate speculative narratives. Ironically, this neutrality can be misread as indifference, leaving room for others to project motives that were never expressed. Finally, her silence, a standard and often responsible response in sensitive situations, created a vacuum quickly filled by assumptions. In online discourse, absence of commentary is frequently mistaken for strategy rather than restraint. Zhao Lusi did not seek to enter this conflict. She simply appeared at the intersection of unresolved expectations, becoming a vessel for emotions that had nowhere else to go. At this point, the discussion moves beyond Zhao Lusi as an individual and toward a more uncomfortable question. When fans react with such intensity, who are they truly protecting? The stated intention is often loyalty to a pairing, a narrative, or an idealized version of the past. Yet the outcome suggests something else. Rather than challenging unrealistic expectations or acknowledging emotional projection, the pressure is redirected toward the safest available target. In this case, Zhao Lusi became that outlet. By absorbing criticism, she inadvertently shielded others from confronting difficult realities, that professional relationships evolve, and that public figures do not exist to fulfill imagined roles indefinitely. This dynamic reveals a paradox within fandom culture. In the name of protection, harm is displaced. Accountability is avoided, while an uninvolved individual bears the consequences. Zhao Lusi did not disrupt a story. She merely stepped into a space already heavy with unresolved emotion. The backlash she faced says less about her actions and more about the struggle to let go of narratives that were never promised. Situations like this do not emerge in isolation. They recur across the entertainment industry whenever emotional investment outpaces reality. Public figures, particularly women, are repeatedly positioned at the center of controversies they did not initiate, simply because their presence intersects with unresolved narratives. Zhao Lusi's experience reflects a broader structural issue rather than a personal misstep. Similar patterns appear whenever professional boundaries collide with fandom expectations. The individuals involved change, but the mechanism remains the same. What makes this moment significant is not the scale of the reaction, but its familiarity. The speed with which blame was assigned and the direction in which it traveled follow a well-established path. Seen in this context, Zhao Lusi's situation is less about one concert or one decision. It is about how modern celebrity culture processes disappointment and who is most often asked to absorb it. Perhaps the most telling aspect of this controversy is not the reaction itself, but its direction. Zhao Lusi did not create expectations, disrupt narratives, or seek attention. She simply fulfilled a professional role and became the vessel for emotions left unresolved by others. This leaves us with a question worth reflecting on. When disappointment arises, why is accountability so often redirected away from its source? As audiences, we may want to consider whether criticism aimed at the most visible figure truly addresses the issue, or merely postpones an uncomfortable reckoning. The story of Zhao Lusi in this moment is not one of provocation, but of quiet endurance.